Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie, also known as KnittaCass, and this is my YouTube channel where I share about all the projects that I'm making, patterns that I'm drooling over, books that I'm reading, sometimes a little bit about the small farm in Vermont that I live on. Not a whole lot of activity right now, so it's kind of a quiet segment. Books I'm reading and a spice of mental health. So grab a project that you're working on, a drink of choice. I of course have my Pepsi here, and let's sit down and chat. I have no finished objects today, but I do have some whips. I have been working on my Starflake by Stephen West, and I did put a progress keeper the last time that we sat down together, and so I'll show you what I've done for progress so far. Okay, so this is the Starflake. So it starts with this kind of star shape, does a couple of some striping, and then it gets right into some brioche. It's got brioche increases and decreases, so I'm learning a lot from it. It's really fun and meditative. The only kind of drawback is that the rows are long, so I will sit and knit on it and feel like I've been knitting on it for forever and don't have as much to show as I would expect. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm making progress. Let's see, where is our progress keeper? Right here. So this is my project keeper. This is a little cat that was the Rhinebeck exclusive from Wee Ones. It's got like a sweater that's not quite finished and a ball of yarn, which is pretty funny because some people do not finish their projects for Rhinebeck and will put them on what are they called? Like try it on cords or whatever. They get really creative about being able to actually wear that. So I have gone from this progress keeper up to here. So I guess it's been quite a bit since the last time I talked to you. I think it's been about a month. I'll probably just be a monthly podcast. I don't seem to be able to fit in every other week. I am hoping that will change now that my after school program is finished. But time will tell. So I'm just moving our progress keeper here. So now it's ready to go to see how much I get done before I see you next. I've got a variety of stitch markers on it. My favorite of which are these cute little penguins wearing some winter gear. Let's see if I can show you. So cute. That one's got a hat. This one's got a scarf. And then of course I have a bunch of stitch markers from, well, I should tell you the penguins are from Wee Ones, and then I've got a bunch of stitch markers from my Adore Knits advent calendar that I got not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, which came with a bunch of stitch markers. Here's another one. Okay, and I am making that out of Knit Pick Sport Weight. I've got this nice blue here, and the colorway is Celestial. And then this lighter blue is called Sky. And it's pretty addicting. I'm almost to the point where I can watch something that I have to pay attention to and do it, because the brioche increases and decreases are becoming, I wouldn't say second nature, but are becoming a little more intuitive. So that's been pretty exciting, because that was the biggest reason that I wasn't working on it, is that I really had to listen or watch something that I didn't have to pay a lot of attention to. And I've got it in this giant watermelon bag. And then this one is my newest project that I started this morning. I've got it in this bag that was my friend Salila's bag. Unfortunately, she passed about a month ago, and I did inherit some of her project bags. So I just started a pair of socks. I am trying to finish a book. It's the Crescent City book, and I'm trying to just plow right through it so I can read the third one. I got that for Christmas, and I just really want to read it. So I'm torn between knitting and reading, because the projects I'm working on, I cannot do both. I'm still kind of early about learning how to knit and read at the same time, and I so far have to have it as vanilla knitting. So I had to cast on a pair of socks. So I cast this on this morning. It's out of some self-striping yarn that I already conveniently have wrapped into 2 balls. And I'm thinking I think this is one of my Advent skeins from the Cozy Knitter, but I don't know what year. So I've got one sock going. I do plan on knitting them in tandem. Okay. And then the WIP I'm most excited about, I've got it in this bag by Sew Melissa Crafts. And it's a really great bag. It's got a canvas bottom, these little straps here. It's got a drawstring closure. And then it has, let's see if I can show you, some pockets on the inside here. One is big enough for like a pencil, and then it's got a couple of really big ones. And it's got this clasp here that you can attach your scissors or stitch markers or really anything. So this is the Twisted Tea Shorts. I talked about wanting to cast them on and knit them. It is a pattern by Little Wolf Knits, and I started it last week, I think. Let me just untangle some of my yarn. These are the Twisted Tea Shorts. So far I have my double waistband, which was super fun to make. And then I've got my I-cord drawstring, which I haven't woven in the ends yet. And so I have kind of officially finished my increases. I am knitting a size, mostly a size 3, but I needed a size 5 for my waist. And so I started the cast on and the original stitch count for the waist, and then you go into hip increases. And I knew that I wasn't going to increase the hip. I wasn't going to do as many increase rounds as the pattern had said, because I wasn't going to continue increasing for size 5. I only needed to increase to size 3. However, I just got like in this meditative mode and just kept going, and I ended up with way too many stitches. So I am currently tinking back so that I can then start knitting the body. But it's a pretty fast knit. I'm really enjoying it. And I put on some spring stitch markers. It's got this really cute Cadbury egg one. And this is from the Corner of Craft. It's a hand knit, what do you call it? Like bead weaving stitch marker. And then I've got some sheep, and I've got some, oh goodness, some little chocolates. And I got a raven. These are all from Wee Ones. Another chocolate and one shark. All those stitch markers are from Wee One. She is my favorite stitch marker designer. And then I'm making it out of Yarn Cafe yarn. And this skein I think is wrapped up, so I don't really want to unwrap it because it's wrapped in tissue paper. But it's this gorgeous colorway. It's this nice kind of bubblegum pink, and it's called Azalea. And I'm thinking, because I want to knit a tank top, I'm thinking about ordering more of this yarn and making a matching tank top. So stay tuned to see if I do that. Now's the season really to start casting on all the spring things. So you like spring, summer things, so that you can have them ready when the season happens. So I am hoping that by the time the warm weather actually comes, that I will have a pair of shorts and a tank top. So hopefully that will happen. Whoops. So that's all the WIPs I have to share with you. Not a whole lot. I don't have as much knitting time as I would enjoy because I'm going back to school. But I do hope to cast on a tank top soon, and I'm thinking I'm going to do, I think it's called the Cosmolite. I've been showing this pattern for probably a year or better, but I will put a picture in, and I'll put the name of the designer below. It's this nice simple tank top that looks mostly just it's just basic knit stitches, and then at the end it's got this really, like on the hem place, it's got this really beautiful lacy pattern that I'm really excited to wear. So I think I'll cast that on next. I gotta order some yarn first, and I think like maybe soonish I'll start a sweater. I just have an itch to knit the Stardust sweater. I did knit it in the past, but I didn't know a lot about sizing, and it fit really snug, and I wouldn't have been able to do any movement while wearing it. So I had, I didn't even tink it back and save the yarn. I just cut where I was and saved what was left of the yarn, and then like threw away what I had knit already, which makes me cringe a little bit now that I'm a little more of an experienced knitter. I totally could have used that yarn for something else. But that's okay. And then I have a Languishing Whip, which is the Cozy Memories. Is it Cozy Memories? Cozy Stripe blanket. I think it's the Cozy Stripe blanket. I'm hoping I might be able to work on that today. I have a chunk of time this afternoon, or I might read and knit. I don't know. I really want to make time to crochet it, but I have to really, really focus on it. So I can't really do anything else while I'm doing it. So maybe today, maybe not. I'm hoping to have some progress to show you the next time we're together. So those are my knitting plans, not a whole lot. I'm hoping to finish those shorts pretty soon and cast on the tank top pretty soon, and then kind of squeeze in that crochet blanket. What else is going on in my knitting world? I do have a project that I need to finish. This is a project that my friend Salila had been working on for about a year. We had gotten the yarn. She had gotten the yarn at Rhinebeck in 2023. Yes, and it was yarn from a lady called, oh, what's her name? It's like a traveling yarn name. She dyes yarn in order of these like foster kitties, and let's see if she has it in here. Oh, here we go. It's a Herd of Cats presents Road Trip Sock Yarn. I will try to insert a picture here of one of the pictures of a cat that came with one of these skeins. It's just really cute. It'll has a picture and tells you their name. I'm not sure if it tells you a little bit about it, but it's really cute and super fun. And so she's been making this shawl, and she's been designing it as she goes. So it's pretty big. It is Tunisian crochet, which is kind of like magic witchery to me. And so she was still working on it. And what I plan to do is to just cast it off. I don't know how to do Tunisian crochet, but I am going to cast off these stitches. She said you kind of cast off the same way that you would with knit stitches, so that should be really easy. And weave in the ends. There's a lot of ends to weave in. And then I think I might hang it up on my wall behind my yarn, like above my yarn. I'm not sure. I'm not a shawl person, so I don't think I'll ever wear it, but I definitely want to keep it. And she's got some yarn in the bag here. So she's got this yarn here, which is really pretty. This yarn was after a tortoiseshell cat, and Salila had a cat named Rosie that she had. I think she was 16 years old, and she got this yarn and called it her Rosie yarn. And then this is the same yarn. I'm not sure why it's rolled off of it. And then there's this other ball here, and I don't know the name or colorway of this. And then she was also weaving in some minis that came from the traveling stock yarn lady. What is her real name? I don't know why I keep messing it up. The Road Trip Sock Yarn, Herd of Cats. So she was crocheting in minis from this collection. So I'm hoping to do that soon. I might do it today. I really like the sense of closure and be able to put it somewhere where I can see it. But I also think I'll like bawl my eyes out while I do it. So I've got to work up the courage and maybe do it on a day where I don't have to go anywhere, because today I have to go to my after school program for a celebration. I don't want to be all gushy and sad, but maybe you'll see that the next time that I'm here. I talked a little bit about my knitting plans, and let's see, life stuff. So Wyatt is kind of looking at colleges. He has been connected with a VSAT counselor, and they're going to do some programs about like aptitude and choosing colleges or career paths that fit what he wants to do, and he wants to be a chef. So that's pretty exciting. If he goes to college, he will be my first kiddo to go to college. He is kiddo number 3. He's almost 17, so now is really a good time to kind of get that career path going. And that's making me pretty proud and pretty excited. Weston is coming out of his shell again a little bit. He has kind of been like a shy, reserved boy, and he broke out of his shell to do football, which just like blew me away. He really enjoyed it. And then he kind of like retreated back into his shell. But he has signed himself up for a basketball tournament. It's the 3v3. It's a school program that, like a school event. And I didn't think he was going to do it. Like, I saw the flyer and I was like, I'm not even going to offer it to him because I don't think he'll do it, which is probably not a good mom thing to do. But I just really thought it wasn't going to be relevant information for him. And he signed him, his cousin, and one of their friends up to do a 3-versus-3 basketball game. It's this Thursday, and I'm really excited to go watch it. So that's pretty cool. And he's growing. He's going through growth spurt right now, which has been pretty exciting to see. But he's been having a lot of like knee and leg pains, so hasn't been as exciting for him. And then like the thing that's really taking a big piece of my life right now is that I run a Destination Imagination program. It is a worldwide program where the company proposes 7 challenges, and they each have their own focus. So there's like fine arts and technical, scientific, like community service, improv, whatnot, and your team chooses which one of the challenges they want to do, and then they come up with like a solution to it, and they have a list of things they have to fit into the solution, and then they have to come up with a performance that ties it all together. And so we started meeting in October, and we just had our tournament this past weekend. It's been a really rough year because we chose quite a challenging challenge. We had to make a device that transported weight across a rope, which kind of sounds easy, but it wasn't. And we were never able to make it go more than an inch or 2, and that's without the weights. So towards the tail end, like the kids are wanting to quit, and I was like, guys, like we have worked so hard on this, like we're not quitting. And you know, to be honest, there was times where I kind of wanted to quit too, but like that's not fair to the kids. So I didn't, like we're not quitters. So we had our tournament on Saturday, and we have been doing a lot of talking and working up to this because our teams have always gotten first or second. And I was just preparing them of like, I don't think we're scoring this, like we're going to get a score, but I don't think like we're going to be on the scoreboard this year. But what I want you to come from it is the stuff that you learned and how hard you worked and your perseverance, and your performance is a heck of a performance, and we're just going to give them a really good show. And then we got there, and our transformer or transporter, even though we had measured it and weighed it 100 times, was like overweight by a little bit and 1/8 of an inch too long, like 1/8 of an inch. But they're pretty strict about their guidelines. So they had to make modifications right there on the spot during their check-in. And you could like see it on their faces and like feel their stress. And I'm trying to hold it together. Meanwhile, I'm freaking out and I'm trying not to cry. My team did it. They did awesome. And their performance was amazing. They did a really great job. And so luckily for us, there was only 3 total teams. So we automatically would have gotten 3rd place, which was kind of nice to the kids that at least would place somewhere. And then we did really good on our instant challenge, which is a shorter challenge that you are told on the spot. There's a specification of things you have to do in a certain time limit. And we scored the highest in the instant challenge. So that bumped our original play performance up a notch. So we actually got 2nd place, and my kids are so happy, and I'm so happy. And I was trying not to cry. And then they have different awards that Destination Imagination offers. And my team got the highest trophy award. It's called the Da Vinci Award. And it's given to people that have like really creative solutions or have a really good like strong spirit or strong effort. Yeah, I don't know the exact specifications, but there's a variety of ways that you can earn it, and it is a prestigious award. And my kids won it, and I can't even tell you like how emotional that was for all of us. You should have seen the like surprise and happiness, and like, oh my gosh, watching them experience this and get that award was crazy. I will put a photo in. I have permission to share my niece's photo and like face on social media. So I will have a photo that has the other kids' faces covered up with like a sticker. So I can show you how big the trophy is. It's insane. And I'm so, so proud. And about a week before we did our competition, a lot of the kids were feeling really defeated and making comments about not wanting to do DI again. And then by the time we left the tournament, they were all like, yes, we're doing this again next year. And that was pretty exciting. So that's exciting. And then the biggest thing that has happened in my life is there's like this long, complicated history about moving into the house we live in, which we lived in for 16 years, and not really having ownership of it. And I don't want to like air dirty laundry or anything, so I won't go into all the details. But we, as of like 4 or 5 days ago, officially own this house, and we own this house outright on a deed with no mortgage payments. And I just cried when my husband was telling me about it and telling me that it was official. I just cried and cried and cried. And I found out the same day that my team like killed it at the tournament. So I've been really elated and super emotional the last couple days. So yeah, like really great things are happening right now. It's super exciting. And then in terms of the farm life, family's trying to figure out what to do with the farm. Like we're not selling it or anything, but we don't have milkers. Our beef cows are kind of old. We haven't really had new babies in a while. It's kind of a hobby farm, but we're trying to decide whether it's at some point going to become a beef farm again or a milk farm again, and just kind of figure out like what the future is of the farm now that some of the kids are getting older and some of the adults are getting older as well, but in different ways. So that's been interesting to kind of look at all the different possibilities. I'm not sure where things will end up on that. I have very limited decision making in that, so I'm kind of just being a passive player and asking questions and just kind of supporting whoever needs a sounding board. And then, I think that's about it. I'm going to school. It's going okay. And I did not plan my Spice of Mental Health. So after I get off of here, I'm going to find some inspiring quote or something and put that up here. It is a time of year where my mental health starts to drastically improve with the warmer weather and the more sunshine, and just like knowing that things are being born and things are waking up, and it just really impacts my mood positively, and I hope that it does for you all as well. And I hope that I can choose a good quote that kind of resembles the fact that we're all in a period where it's going to get a little bit better. With that and all my rambling, I will let you go, and I will see you soonish, maybe in a month, maybe if I'm lucky a little bit earlier than that. And I look forward to hearing from you about what projects you're working on. So if you want to let me know down below what you're currently working on, I think that would be fun to learn. And I hope you have a chance to fill your cup, and happy crafting. Bye!